Hey, what's up everybody? This is Superbrick501 and today I want to go over some new Datamined information for New World that was actually just posted today on Reddit. And with all of these data mining videos, I will have links in the description to the Reddit posts of these where most of these are from. And this one does have a lot of very interesting information. And with this post a little bit more than other ones, I would recommend going and checking out the post because they're showing a bunch of the actual code and some of the pictures and stuff I'm not going to be able to show in this video because there's just a ton of pictures of different armor and stuff like that. So I'd recommend checking out this post and looking at all the stuff for yourself. So I just wanted to go down the list of information that was found out in this data mining. So first off, the main story quest will last up to level 60. And I don't think in the closed beta that the main quest actually lasted up to that long. But in this coding, it does show that once you hit different level milestones, so pretty much every 5 levels, and then at 50 and 60, you will unlock the next chapters of the main story. And I could definitely see this being true because even though there's been a ton of alpha tests, beta tests, we had the NDA lifted for this newest closed beta, I'm sure they probably want to keep at least some stuff under wraps, even from say alpha testers with an NDA, because they would want to keep some stuff to be a surprise for players. So players in the alpha that have been testing it for a year still have a reason to play the game with additional stuff being in the game on full release. There also being 5 tiers of the Azov staff on release. I'm actually not certain how many tiers of Azov staff there was in the beta. The person in this post thought there was only 3. I'm not certain on that as well, but I don't think there was 5 if I'm not mistaken. Then there's a Cutlass Keys expedition called Barnacles and Black Powder. So just another expedition, another one of the zones. I would fully expect there to be a lot more expeditions added. It seemed when they started to add expeditions that they were actually able to create them pretty quickly, and that is very light content in most games. Pretty much every MMO that would have dungeon style content, it usually ends up being one of the most popular systems in those games. So I'd fully expect there to be a lot of those added in the near future. The Brimstone Sands expedition as well, which is the map addition we went over, which is the desert map addition that everyone seems to think will be the first landmass addition to the game. So an expedition of that, fully expected. And then there was just some additional expedition information, another expedition, some expedition titles and boss names and stuff like that. I don't want to go super deep into that. Like I said, I'd recommend looking at this Reddit post because it actually has the coding that shows the different names and all that type of stuff. Like I said, I would fully expect there to be a lot more expeditions added to the game as the game grows, and there to be expeditions added in every new zone that is added. A few additional things is there's also something that is pointing at an expedition queue. I'm wondering if this is just fully you being able to queue for expeditions, like looking for a group in say World of Warcraft, and I'm wondering if this is going to be you just queue up and it auto puts you into groups once you say have like a tank, healer, and DPS, or if this would be a group listing system, so you wouldn't be auto queued into stuff, but people would be able to put up their groups and you'd be able to sign up for them and they would be able to invite you if they want. That system is probably much more fitting for New World in my opinion, instead of just having a random queue where you get queued up randomly with other players. There's also a listing that shows different reasons players can be banned for, so exploiting, bot activity, abusive behavior, all that type of stuff. Not really something most players will care about, to be honest. And next up, we actually have some weapon images for new weapons. Now, like said in this post, that these can very easily be just for NPCs, but with the mix of some of these items that we're going to talk about, or some of these weapons being data mined as being player equipable items, and these just being something that would make complete sense being added as weapons, I definitely still think there's a decent possibility that these weapons are added for player use at some point, but most likely these specific pictures are weapons that are going to be used by NPCs and are being used by NPCs, but I could definitely still see them being used later on if these weapons happen to be added for player weapons. And first off, we have one-handed clubs, so it just kind of shows a bunch of different tiers of one-handed clubs. You have just a wood one, you have a little bit better one, some metal on it, you have a bigger metal one, and then it looks like more ornate maces as it goes down. Then we have two-handed clubs, the same thing, kind of looks like different tiering of maces, you know, adding on more spikes. One just looks like wood with nails in it. Then you have one that's like full metal or full iron, so just kind of going through different tiers. And then we have pistols, and these do look pretty cool. One of them has a blade on it, and the other ones are just kind of different color pistols or ones that look a little bit ornate. Now with this, they actually do have a one-handed crossbow in this, which was was data mined that there was pistols, then a crossbow variant. And like I said, most likely these specific pictures are just stuff that's just being used by NPCs, but with them already having modeled weapons, with these weapons being something that would make complete sense that players would be able to use, I still give it a pretty decent chance personally that these will be added somewhere down the line. So next up, we have a bunch of different armor sets that seem to be a mix of store armor sets and just armor sets you can earn in game. And a lot of these have their different variations. So say one of these is waterlogged net, and you have a light version, a heavy version, and a medium version of these. And they do look pretty cool in my opinion, especially the waterlogged heavy one. I just really like the look of them. So I'm just going to go down the list of these. I'm not going to be showing like all their different pictures. I'll probably show one picture because these do have all the different armor pieces in the different sets. So say the first one is Angel Heavy. It shows 5 different pieces in that. So for the full set. So I'd recommend going and checking out this post, like I said, if you want to see all the different pieces of all these different armor sets. So we have Angel Heavy, Angel Medium, Harbinger Heavy, Harbinger Medium, Harbinger Light, Robes, and then a Harbinger Light non-robed version. We have Invasion Field Commander Heavy, Invasion Marksman Light, Invasion Skirmisher Medium, and Invasion Assassin. And some of these sets I really do like as well. They look really ornate, almost like they would more so be used for an army where everybody would be wearing the same things. We have War Marksman Light, War Skirmisher Medium, Royal Court Heavy, Royal Court Medium, Royal Court Light. And a lot of these say the Invasion and the War ones probably going to be rewards from those specific content rewards. Not all of these are going to be stuff that we haven't seen. I think a few of these have definitely been obtained in game already. Then we have Twitch Set, and this one isn't actually the Twitch reward drop that we got during the closed beta. This one is something completely different. It looks more like kind of like a Conquistador heavy armor set, that it's a lot of shiny armor with purple cloth on it. Looks pretty cool. Then we have Purifier Heavy, Purifier Light, Purifier Medium, Waterlogged Coral Heavy, Waterlogged Net Heavy, Waterlogged Net Light, and Waterlogged Net Medium. And like I said, if you want to see all these, I'd recommend going and looking at them. A lot of them are pretty unique when compared with each other. And then the last thing is there was some additional stuff that the poster wasn't able to post pictures of for whatever reason, but there are store bundles that have a lumberjack outfit, 15 dyes, an emote, a rabbit pet, as well as a pirate themed furniture bundle. So that would be one of the premium bundles on the store that you'd pay real money for. And that one is probably 100% going to be in the store on release if I would have to wager a guess. And one last thing I wanted to go over is someone posting some additional information that is claiming to be someone that played in the alpha and got a lot of this information from, talking to other people on the alpha and just learning additional information. So take this with a grain of salt as well. But I have actually seen a lot of people from different alphas of New World actually talk about some additional content for the game and some stuff that we later learned to be true. So it's definitely not out of the ordinary from people from the alpha having some additional information. So this poster says, Brimstone Sands is the home of the ancient dragon that corrupted the princess in Ebonscale. The zone is a continuation of the Ebonscale storyline, and that would definitely line up with most people thinking that zone to be the first zone addition to New World. And the second zone is going to be a forest zone that is connected to Morningdale. This is the home of the ancients and where the most powerful of the ancients retreated to once the corruption became too strong. And like I said, I have heard other people talking about the second zone being a forest zone. So I have seen multiple posts or forum posts or just people in comments talking about these two exact things before. Both these zones were brought up in a thread on the alpha forums a long while back because in alpha you could go in these zones but died to a dot. Amazon have been very open with the alpha players in discussing these things, and a topic of conversation happened. So just some additional information on these zones being a little bit more possible. The Azov staff storyline continuing to level 60 has been something a lot of alpha players have been telling people whenever they say there's no endgame content. So what we talked about earlier is the main story and the Azov staff both going up to level 60. Questlines and endgame content were purposely hidden in alpha and beta because Amazon didn't want anybody to have a head start on the endgame. The devs have been teasing an endgame raid for a long time, but who knows if that will be included at release. So just a few things talking on this. Endgame content has been a major factor in a lot of people talking about the game because it does not seem like there is really that expansive of an endgame, at at least talking about people playing the closed beta. Now, I could definitely see some content being hidden, even from alpha testers, from beta testers, everything like that, because like I said, Amazon wouldn't want everybody to know everything. And I could definitely see some of that being that they don't want players who have been in alpha playing the betas go quickly through all the content because they have all the information they need. And like I said, not certain if this is going to be the case, if there's going to be a ton of endgame content we don't know about. I truly do hope there will be a lot of endgame content, because that is one of the major fears I have with the game, is that it's going to be really fun at early game, really fun at mid game, really fun getting up to 60, and then at 60 you're just going to gear up decently quickly, and then there's not going to be much left to do in terms of doing new content, harder content, and new stuff once you get to level 60. So I'm hoping what they're saying in this comment is true, that there's a bunch of endgame content that we have not seen, that's been hidden, and that we will get when the game is fully released. So that's all I want to go over with these leaks. Like I said, I'd recommend it and going and checking out this post if you want to see all the armor sets, all the specific code that show these different things I went over, and that link will be in the description. So subscribe if you want to see more New World or other MMO videos. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about all of these new data mined information, and thanks for watching.